Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, we're using the Gendron Tarot by Melanie Gendron. Website is usgamesinc.com. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you want that information. Supportive oracle cards are Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Website on the back here is, if I can get it close enough, rockpoolpublishing.com.au as an apple, use an umbrella. Feel free to check that out if you want it, of course. Whew. Okay. What do we have for Aries? Oh, it's a Six of Wands. It's success, so that's always good. The Sun card, right above it, too. Okay. Got the Universe coming out, the Moon. I don't really see any bad cards for you. Well, maybe not content with something, but that's what's going to create a change. What are you attracting? What are you attracting? Be aware of what you're attracting. Alright, so you got change here at the bottom. So change is coming. I feel like Aries welcomes change usually. I mean, naturally, if it's on your terms, like, you don't want everything to change. Like, there's certain things you want to keep. And if you like it, that's one thing. But, like, I feel like Aries is mostly open to change. Am I wrong? I don't know. I feel like mostly. Depends. Like, if you have something you like, you're going to fight to keep it. But unless it's really great, you're probably open to change. Like, you know, changing the way the house looks, changing your job at times, changing where you live. Depending, if you don't really like it all that much, yeah. But if you like it, you'll fight to keep it. Okay, why are we going over that like 50 times? Okay, so this is like, the void here is a beautiful thing because it's like there's nothing there. But you're attracting something. Because there's a whole new phase coming in and something is going to flourish. Like that void is going to turn into this up here, this moon here. It's going to be completely full of whatever you fill it. The question is, what do you want? What do you want? And be careful. This is like a manifesting thing. You're definitely manifesting something, but they're warning you. Don't manifest what you really don't like. So, for example, if you're deciding you're going to change your job, don't manifest another job you really don't like. How do I explain this? It's kind of like saying, all right, I've worked in food service for the last 15 years, so I believe that's where I fit, even though I don't like it. And then manifesting another job connected or in food service, just trying to find a better fit in a situation you really don't like. Or it's like, well, insurance. That's a good one. I used to be in insurance. I recently read for somebody who does insurance. Insurance to me is painfully boring. Painfully boring. But if you really don't like it, what else can you manifest? Like, manifest something outside of that. You know what I mean? Or at least, like, say you're in insurance and whatever part of it you're in you don't like, but are there other avenues, are there pieces in there that you would like, or are you still going to be stuck dealing with something you don't like? You know, how do I explain this better? Like, just don't manifest something you don't like. I mean, this seems so obvious, but, like, it's accepting a piece of something that you don't need to accept, and that's the key. I'm trying to find a way to talk about better. It's like when you accept, like, well, I have to do this type of job, or I have to be connected in this type of way. Maybe not. Trying to find a way to remove the connection that you don't like. Like, people, I've worked with people who don't like dealing with the public. They don't like it. They just don't. I feel like there's just people who don't. I don't think that's a bad thing. There's people who are okay with it. There's people who actually love it, believe it or not. So, and I'm feeling like there's going to be people watching this going, yeah, I don't mind it. If you don't like working with the public, stop going into jobs where you have to deal with the public. Start gravitating towards things. Don't accept that you have to deal with the public if you don't want to. Start looking and start opening up, kind of go, wait a minute, maybe I don't have to if I don't want to. That's what I feel like, because something is opening up, and it's kind of like this reading is mostly about, I really feel like, don't just accept something that you don't like, feeling like you're stuck with it. Start manifesting out of it. Even if it takes 2 to 3 years to totally get out of it, start manifesting your way out of it. Like, don't keep manifesting something you don't really want. Don't keep going towards jobs that are telemarketing jobs or phone jobs if you don't like dealing with the public. You know what I mean? Maybe IT would be better for you. Yeah, you're stuck. Go towards what you actually want. You're stuck. You got the 12. The 12 is the hanged person, the hanged man, whatever you want to do. The moon is your friend. The moon is your friend. Isn't that nice? The moon it's coming in with the Ace of Cups. If we step back, and whatever it is you're feeling you're stuck with, and you let yourself dream. This is kind of like the Pisces card. The moon is the Pisces card in the tarot. In astrology, it's Cancer, but in tarot, it's Pisces. Let yourself dream what you actually like. If I didn't have any boundaries and I could just do whatever I wanted, what would you do? Would you be an artist? Would you be a singer? Would you be a mechanic? Some people love that type of stuff. Maybe you're going to go more the practical route. Would you be a baker? I think bakers and artists kind of match in my mind, because to create something beautiful that you can also eat and it still tastes beautiful, that takes a lot of talent and creativity, in my opinion. And you got to know what you're doing, and you got to do it a certain way. It takes a lot of talent in my opinion, to make a really good one. And you have to learn and pay attention. You have to pay attention and connect in certain ways. So maybe like being a baker, it sounds simple, but that can be a very difficult job that talented people excel in. I feel like talented people in baking don't see it as very hard, but it's because they're talented. Other people, I don't know. It depends. Like my mom, who passed away, used to make cakes, but they were box cakes, and they were dry. Like, I thought he didn't like cake for a little while there until I had some other people's cakes, and I'm like, how come yours tastes good? My mom's doesn't. She could make some things really well. Not to pick on her, she's on the other side, but still, I'm just saying, people with talent with certain things do find it much easier. So what would you want to do? What would you really want to do? For some of you, it might be like, well, I'd love to be a race car driver. Going that direction, just literally being a driver, maybe not a race car driver, maybe a race car driver. I'm not gonna poo-poo your dreams, but like, okay, do you like driving flat out? Is driving a thing? Is it race car driving, specifically race car driving, or do you like driving just the whole category? Like, let's move towards something that you actually want, and allow yourself to want it, and see what you can make from that. Because I feel like that's what they're saying. Before you fill this void, ask yourself what you really want. No matter what you already have, no matter what subject it is, whatever you already have and what subject it is, let's step away from what you already have. And if you could have anything you want, and there was no recourse for it, what would you put in there? What would you replace that with? And there was no recourse. And then just go from there. Because you're going to be surprised. You'll start making it happen. Again, say the race car driver thing. I'd love to be a race car driver. Maybe you'll end up being some other type of driver that you'll still enjoy. Maybe not quite a race car driver unless you work in a city. Maybe New York City. I'm not in New York City. But I'm just saying, it might be a certain type of obstacle race thing going on there. You might find something that sort of fits. And you might be surprised what you can find that could be lucrative for you. You'll start searching it out, because success is here. Success is waiting for you. I feel like the universe is saying it's waiting for you, but we're not going to force you to do something that if you don't really want it. We're just saying it's out there. If you come for it, if you go looking for it, if you go trying to track it down, your possibilities are out there. It's out there for you. Especially because you got the Sun card and the Six of Wands. Like, I saw this in the beginning, and I'm like, that's quite powerful. You might be surprised how close you can get to what you really want. It reminds me of, like, when I went to college, or even after college, when you realize people go to college for one vocation and then they end up doing something totally different. Maybe their degree helps them, maybe it doesn't. But it's just very interesting how you could head in one direction, head for what you want, and then as you go, you're like, well, actually, that's what I really want, as you're discovering, as you keep moving. I feel like Aries is really good at that too. When you keep moving forward and you're like, well, that's what I'm going for, but now that I'm on this path, I'm seeing things that I like better, and adjusting and changing as you need to actually get what you truly desire. There's going to be a lot of give and take with this. So it may take some time for it to work out. Be aware of people who don't want to support you. You may have to negotiate with some people, because I feel like finding the support might be difficult at times. So if these people become obstacles, see them as obstacles and treat them accordingly. What does that mean? Like, within respect to laws, you just remove the obstacles when you need to. It's like if it's a job and some people don't want to let you move forward the way you want to, maybe it's time to find a different job. Because your success depends on you moving forward, and if somebody wants to get in your way, be aware of it, because I'm seeing this. This is a very peculiar card in this deck. The High Priestess is coming in as a potential block, and I'm noticing like the crystal as a rock. Like, they might not want to let you through. Somebody might get in your way. If they're willing to work with you, keep them. If they're not willing to work with you, you might have to move around them or just go somewhere else. Recognize people who are blocks. There's a difference between a block and somebody who needs some time to actually work through it. So there's a difference between a block, just a flat out no, and somebody's like, well, let me think about it, and somebody who slowly goes in your direction. Somebody who slowly goes in your direction, I don't think you have to remove them. You can work with that. That might actually be a ticket to your long-term success, just to be fair. But it's hard, but I feel like if you can realize who's a block and who's actually negotiating with you, maybe slower than you like, but still moving over time, make sure you keep those people around you. They're making a point about that. I don't know if I'm hitting it quite right. So let's see if there's something else. Even if they move forward reluctantly and they're like, I don't want to do this, but if it's where I'm gonna lose you or I have to go your way, I'll negotiate with you. Work with that. That's still working with you. Four of Swords, and the 16 is the Tower card. You might have to make the point to somebody who's standing in your way, like, well, I'm gonna hit my goal one way or another. You either work with me or I find another way to make it happen. You don't have to be that forward with the actual conversation, but make the impression in some like if they think you're going to go a different direction, like if they're like, well, I'm not going to let you have that position, you're like, well, I'm going to still try for it. You just make the point that you're going to keep trying for it to where they realize they can either work with you or work with someone else. Because I think a lot of these people don't want to work with someone else, because Aries is a very powerful, very successful sign. So it's kind of like, in my opinion anyway, it's better to have Aries around because they're very energetic. They get a lot done, but they do it on their terms. But there's usually a lot of success around Aries, in my opinion, too. So usually, not all the time, I know that, but still. So I think they're going to want to work with you rather than not work with you at all. So if you kind of make the point subtly, like in a subtle way, like I'm still going to hit my goal. So if you're not on board, I'm going to make it there. If you're not there when I'm there, sorry, this is how it is. If you make that point, I feel like that'll go in your benefit. Because I feel like if you give them time to get used to it, they sooner or later will surrender. Because they're going to get the point. They either have to surrender and go your way, or go a different way without you. You're going to go different ways. I feel like, I don't know, for some of you this is going to make perfect sense. So I'm just going to let that be. They're going to realize either go with you or go somewhere else. And I feel like for some of you, you're married to the person that this is going to be a problem with. And they're going to realize if they don't want to go to your level of success, they're going to have to go somewhere else with someone else. I think it's going to hit that point if you start going towards your success. Because once you start going towards your path, I don't see you looking back. Like, I know I'm going this way to have success, and I'm going to have it. It may become something like that, just to be fair. So I don't know how that affects the people watching, but if that affects what you're going to choose to do next, that affects what's add it in as you need to, I guess. I think we're there. Alright, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a great day.